Hey guys, this is Vicky. A very good morning to you. I'm right here in the midst of the forest, and you can see the beautiful stream behind me. It's a wonderful Sunday morning, and I wanted to talk to you today about an important topic, and that is how to have the right attitude for success. Attitude is really everything, and that's really what will make you either win or lose in your career, in your life. So, what does that mean? And what is an attitude? An attitude is really something that is um, how you view any given situation and how you approach any given situation, and also how others perceive how you are approaching a given situation. So, the key to having the right attitude is really about making sure that you're applying the mind towards the goal that you're trying to accomplish. When you are in a difficult situation, it's easy to really develop a bad attitude. Some of the challenges that you might encounter are uh, not acknowledging that there's a problem. That's your first thing that I would suggest is the stepping stone to having the right attitude is to acknowledge the problem. Make sure that you can acknowledge what is the underlying challenge and not get defensive. So it's really important to make sure that you are acknowledging that there is a real problem and avoid conflict by getting defensive. The right attitude in a situation something like this is, hey Vic, I don't think I have seen the progress that I was expecting for the last 2 months. There are two ways to respond to that question if asked by a client or a superior, a manager. One is, let's say, no, I have been doing everything I was supposed to, and X, Y, and Z came up, and therefore I was not able to accomplish everything as expected. But I think from my standpoint, I'm doing great, and I've been making all the progress that I'm expected to. That's a bit of what I would consider as a bad attitude because you're not really trying to understand where the other person is coming from. So the right attitude in this context would be something like this. Okay, thank you for bringing that up. I would like to better understand what are some of the gaps that you see in terms of the performance that you have not been able to see. So maybe I could address that and give you a little bit more context around what progress we have actually indeed made in some of these areas. So that's an example of how you would approach something that would otherwise be considered as a bad attitude and turn that around into more of a positive conversation. The other kind of scenarios that you should consider are when someone calls you out on, let's say, not meeting a milestone. Let's say that you were supposed to complete a task by yesterday, but it wasn't completed for whatever reason, and you may have a very good reason for that. A bad attitude would typically be something like this. I don't think I have actually seen the deliverable that you were supposed to send that across yesterday, Vic. A bad attitude would be, well, no, I actually sent that across, and I was not able to maybe attach the files that were required, and therefore I couldn't really get the files across to you on time yesterday. That's something that I think maybe you have a limit on your side, perhaps, because of which the files are not getting through. That's an excuse mindset. So the other person immediately could sense that there is something that this person is trying to cover up, and therefore they may push back and say, well, Vic, I'm sorry, but we never have any problems with other individuals who work with us, and the size limits have never been a problem, and could you please recheck if you have indeed sent it. So that leaves a really bad impression with anyone. The right way to approach this situation would in fact be something like this. Yes, Miss Client, I'm sorry that we are running a bit behind as per our planned schedule. I completely understand that this is a frustrating uh, scenario for you, and I know you have a lot of things dependent on our deliverables. So my apologies, and I would like to bring it to your notice that we are running into some challenges with completing deliverable, and here's X, Y, and Z reason why we are running behind in terms of maybe the complexities that are involved in the deliverable. We would appreciate if we could get maybe a little bit more assistance from your team so that we can address these challenges. And we are available today to jump on a quick call and get things sorted out so that we can hash out all these challenges and put them behind us and get you the deliverable right away. So those are some of the aspects that deal with attitude as it pertains to meeting expectations of clients or your managers who might be expecting quality and timely deliverables from you. A third scenario is conflict when it comes to someone who may not be hiring you for a particular position, or you are not getting the promotion that you expected. In this scenario as well, you would see performance reviews where there is a lot of bad attitude from individuals who are involved in the performance review. And there's a very important aspect of performance review, and that is you're getting the feedback from multiple individuals. Many organizations now do 360 feedback, including the manager and other peers that you may have worked with, and sometimes from one level up or above. So in these scenarios, it's important to have the right attitude in a performance review, because you could very well set yourself up for failure for any future promotions based on how you respond to a single performance review meeting with your manager. So an example of a poor attitude would be as follows. Okay, Vic, I think we're here to discuss promotion of your current profile from a vice president to a senior vice president. And we have some concerns because of X, Y, and Z. The response there could be a very defensive attitude where you could say, well, no, I don't understand why I would not be considered. X, Y, and Z are completely immaterial. They are not really valid in my scenario. I have always performed better than so-and-so, and therefore I should be, in fact, be given the promotion. This could be very easily construed as a bad attitude by individuals. And therefore, the ultimate recommendation for having the right attitude would be something like this. Thank you, manager, for the feedback. I really appreciate the inputs. Obviously, you have done your due diligence in terms of talking to the right individuals to gather this feedback for me. So this is very helpful. The aspects that I'd like to bring to your attention are that over the last 1 year, our team under my leadership has accomplished X, Y, and Z, and we have far exceeded goals that were set for our team. And we believe that we are well above the benchmark for our organization. I definitely see where you're coming from in terms of X, Y, and Z, but let me give you a little bit more clarity and context in terms of how we have approached our challenge, and therefore X, Y, and Z challenges that you're mentioning are not entirely a deterrent for some of the goals that we have been making progress on. And so this kind of is a little bit more of a positive tone in terms of you being willing to discuss and provide the right context versus being upfront defensive about the attitude that you might have when first presented with the negative news that you are not likely to be considered for a promotion. So in summary, I would like to say that keep your attitude right. It's super important to focus on making sure that no matter where you are, whether you're in an organization where you're reporting up to someone and you need to ensure that your attitude comes across right in front of your managers, or you're working with clients. The attitude is what will set you apart. So enjoy your week, and I hope you have a great Labor Day weekend. And I will talk to you next week.